So you're about 5 years away from retirement. What should you be thinking about? What should you be checking on? What should you verify? What steps should you be taking? I get this question a lot. Thought I'd make a video dedicated to it, okay? 4 actions, okay? Things you need to begin making serious progress on. Number 1 is your budget and budget review process, okay? Everything starts with your expenses, folks. That's why this is number 1, okay? You may be going through your career just, spending whatever you spend, saving whatever you save. Maybe you're real disciplined on saving, but not disciplined on expenses. But you need to step up your game a little bit in retirement, especially if you're retiring early. When I say early, I'm saying, let's say 60. Really true if you sometime in your 50s. All starts with spending. So your budget. Don't just take what you've been spending the last 6 months, last 18 months, and just say, this is my budget, this is what we spend. Things change in retirement. You're not contributing to savings anymore. You'll probably be in a different tax bracket. A lot of things change, okay? You're not gonna be driving to work anymore, and you're gonna have a lot of free time, okay? What are you gonna do in that free time? So your budget, I encourage you to have a base budget, what you need just to live every month, doing your normal stuff. Then have some go-go spending on top of that. Maybe that's $1,000 a month that you have, $12,000 a year to do some fun, exciting things. And then maybe some slow-go spending, okay? So I've talked about that enough in other videos. You need to get serious about your medical plan. You need to look at options, not rules of thumb, not something you read in a magazine. You need to get specific for you and get some estimates. Think about one-time expenses. What's your review process going to be for your budget? I do this once a quarter. I don't do it every week, don't do it every month. Once a quarter, I sit down with what are we spending. And this seems to level out highs and lows, okay? That's why I do it every quarter. You got to have an airproofing process for your budget. You got to review it with a third party, folks. What are you missing? You don't want to be surprised in retirement and say, oh, we forgot about this $1,000 expense, or I forgot about putting in that I need a new roof or a new furnace in the house. I have a retirement group for this. I've told you that a bunches of times, several times. Not to go it alone. I use my retirement group to bounce things off of, look at my budget, what are you putting in that I missed, those kind of things. So you gotta start with your budget process and a review process. You don't need to have that finalized, but you need to start thinking that way. It's a big transition from working and getting a monthly income to living off your assets. It's huge, huge. If you don't do this step right, 1, you're probably going to delay retirement. 2, you're probably not going to spend enough money in retirement because you're going to be a little scared and you're not going to just have the confidence. So number 2 action that I see about 5 years from retirement is you're going to have to really start upping your game around, do I have enough money? More tests and more different ways of looking at, do you have enough money, is going to increase your confidence. And confidence is what you're going to need. I'm telling you, most people think, they're pretty confident and cocky. I was when I was 5 years out. But whenever you have to make the decision to retire, any gaps in your plan are going to turn into working 6 more months, 6 more years. So what did I do? I used the 4% rule just to see if I'm in the ballpark. I used a lot of spreadsheets, spent hundreds of hours on spreadsheets. I'm pretty decent with spreadsheets. I talked to, don't do what I did. I talked to 7 financial advisors. I recommend at least 2. I was looking for somebody that had something to offer dramatically elevated from whatever I was able to discover and research on my own. See what they can offer. Sit down with 2 and say, give me your best shot. Tell me what you got. What can you do with my assets? What can you provide for whatever fee? Comprehensive software package. Folks, I'm a big fan of a comprehensive software package. I have a link below if you're interested. You got to start making decisions around timing. What time of year? Do you have a bonus that comes in at the end of the year? What, impact on Social Security if you retire early, decisions on a lump sum versus an annuity pension. Do you want to spend money on an annuity? All those things you need to start thinking about money. Also, stress testing. I'm a huge fan of stress testing. It's easy to come up with a plan that works. You got to find out how that plan fails and how easy it fails. With market volatility, longevity, dying early, inflation, taxes, find out where your plan fails and make sure it doesn't fail too easy, okay? So that's number 2, do I have enough money? Number 3, and this is one that people miss, okay? And they get caught, I say with your pants down. I don't know if that translates across the globe here, but asset location. Where are your assets located? This is most impactful and most dramatic if you're retiring before 59 and a half, if a traditional IRA. If you have a 401k, there's Rule 72T where you can get money at 55. So make sure you check that out if you have money in a 401k. But, how are you going to live on what assets? You may have $2 million in an IRA. Say you don't have a 401k, you got $2 million in an IRA, and you want to retire at 55. How do you get that money out? How do you? What's the impact of that penalty, or could there be a penalty with that? Good chance. Okay. You also have to have a plan for a down market. Okay, so the day after you retire, the market goes down by 40%. How do you react? So do you have money that's in the market, out of the market? Do you have money that's in tax-deferred, tax-free, brokerage accounts? When you have money in those 3 different accounts, you can manipulate your income that you report to the IRS that affects maybe your affordable care medical payments. Also impacts, here in the United States, your Medicare supplement premiums, okay? So how are you going to live on the money before you can draw on some of those tax-deferred assets? How are you going to manage your taxes and your premiums on healthcare? All that's based on asset location. The people that I've talked to that have the best retirement plans, they've got money in each, substantial money in each, not $20 in brokerage account. They may have, $400,000 in the brokerage account, $400,000 in Roth, and $400,000 in an IRA. So those people can manage where the money is coming from to manage their income. So big deal. Asset location, make sure you're starting to look at that. A lot of people in asset location, they don't have money in what I call bucket 1, money that they need in case the market goes down 40%, money that's not tied to the stock market that they can live on and not sell their equities when they're down 40%. So that's the most common problem I see is, hey, you need $300,000 your first 5 years of retirement, and you got everything in the S&P 500. That's the most common problem I see. Okay, so that was number 3. We're on to number 4, the last one, and don't rush through this one. Don't assume it's fall. It's fall. I don't know what I meant by that. Don't assume this is small or something nice to have. It's what are you retiring to? This is the push you're going to need. This is going to push you through all the excuses to not retire, okay? Hating your job is not enough for most people to retire. That's the devil you know. Hating your job, you're still going to look at your finances and say, hey, I'm going to be better off in 1 more year. I'm going to be better off in 5 more years. You're always going to be better off pushing out your retirement financially. You're always going to be better off. So you're going to have to make a decision when are you going to stop changing your time for money, okay? But hating your job is not enough, I found in the people that I've talked to, and that's been several hundred. I like it to be a new and exciting journey. Make sure you're aligned with your spouse. Real discussions having with your spouse. What do you want to do with our time? Have some journeys together, have some journeys apart. I think that's perfectly acceptable. It may be you want to move. Maybe you want to downsize. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you have some hobbies, golf, pickleball. Maybe you want to do some part-time work at the local winery. I don't know. Most people need this kind of specificity. I think that's I think that's a word. Need this to shove them out of their comfort zone of working one more year. Get specific. Sell everything, buy an RV for 4 years. That's pretty specific, right? Settle down in Sarasota, Florida, and live in a 55 plus community. That's pretty specific, okay? For me, you know that I retired to do some very part-time reliability and maintenance coaching. I don't do that anymore. You know, I'm 5 years into my journey, but I do some YouTube. I do a lot of traveling. I love learning. I got a couple learning groups that I belong to. Got 3 nonprofits that I work with. I do a lot of work on my health and nutrition and exercise. That's kind of what I do. Meet with friends, work on relationships. Kind of sounds busy, but I'm not. Okay, don't think I'm busy. You know, I work about let's say an hour to produce a YouTube video. Like this video will take me a total of an hour. And I make about 3 a week. So I'm working 3 hours a week on YouTube. So that's my list of 4 things you need to be really getting serious about 5 years from retirement. Did I miss anything? Let me know what you think is important. Let me know if you discovered something new from this video. All right, it's Joe out.